last week we heard, or 2 weeks ago, we heard about a sale that one of our clients represented the buyer in the largest residential real estate transaction in the history of Charleston, which is very exciting. It was a $21 million transaction, $21.25 million transaction. The house went for $18.25 million. The furniture and all the other stuff inside, maybe the stuff in the fridge, they kept that. I don't know, but that was an extra $3 million, which is pretty remarkable. So it was the most expensive home transaction. So we are, especially in the client marketing department, we're very excited to see that it was a CINC lead. It was somebody who came to their site, became a lead because of CINC advertising. It kind of fit in with all of the, like we have a plan on what we're doing. We're not just randomly making up stuff. It's a plan, and this is the exact steps that took place fit exactly what we're trying to do. So I'm just going to walk you through what CINC does on behalf of all of our clients. We call it hyperlocal microtargeting, which is just a fancy way of describing what we do. He started in August 2016, 9 years ago. He gave us 10 areas. From there, we have expanded his account to 171 ad groups. This includes additional areas that are within, like he'll give us Charleston, we'll drill down to specific areas within Charleston, create ad groups for those. And the hyperlocal microtargeting would be the niches. And that is the important thing here. So a niche is, instead of what our competitors do, is they get the 10 areas, let's throw it up there and just leave it there, and it's fine. Let's do a mediocre job. Who cares?
That's probably right.
We don't care for our clients. Doesn't matter.
That's what's painted on the wall. Let's do a mediocre job. Who cares?
Mediocre job for our clients.
It's in script.
So Charleston would get one ad group in other companies. So with us, we have these different niches, such as condos in Charleston, luxury homes in Charleston, gated homes in Charleston, or historic homes in Charleston. Because we have invested millions of dollars in technology, where we are able to, it's if you're doing it manually, it would be impossible. It literally be impossible. You would need like a staff of 1,000 to do all these things. But because we have created the technology over a dozen years, we're able to do it. We created the Charleston Historic Homes ad group in September 2016 for this client. Fast forward 9 years. A lot has happened in 9 years. But one thing that happened was 9 years later, on November 20th, somebody, a prospective home buyer, Googled Charleston Battery houses for sale. Charleston Battery is the historic area of Charleston. That called up the landing page of Charleston Historic Homes. Google really likes it when, like, the landing page, that's the page on the website, the keywords, the ads, they all kind of fit together. This is a perfect use of it. If we would have just said Charleston Homes for sale, they probably wouldn't have seen this ad. Because they had a specific search, Charleston Battery houses for sale, it went to a more drilled down landing page.
Something I always tell people is, if you aren't using CINC, you could be missing out on leads that are too close to buying, because you don't have those hyperlocal targets in there. The cost per click was 60 cents, which is lower than our average cost per click. But that's what those hyperlocal ad groups do. The reason that they're cheaper is because there's fewer people that are doing those ad groups. And
right, our competitors' ads wouldn't show up for a search term. And a lot of these, like when we have the hyperlocal is like homes for sale near Indian Hills Country Club or something like that. Country Club is a good beacon for doing hyperlocal ads. Nobody else advertises for those. So our clients do, and so they are able to get a lower cost per click because there's less competition. November 20th, the person became a lead, and it was a Sunday night at 7:30. Yes. So the agent was probably out doing Sunday night things, watching 60 Minutes or watching football or whatever it is. So the AI, the CINC AI, which Jeff Walker personally built, communicated, reached out via text with the client, went back and forth
An
over an
overstatement.
hour, and set up a appointment to talk at 9 o'clock in the morning the next day. The agent called him up at 9 o'clock the next day and then set up an in-person meeting that morning. That meeting happened. And then 2 weeks later, on December 6th, the house was under contract. The most expensive house in the history of Charleston. If the ads were bad, the AI was bad, the transaction wouldn't happen. Both were excellent. That's why the transaction happened.